Oregon just voted to legalize pot last night, but if you've looked around lately, you know it already seems to be everywhere. And tonight we've learned that the storefronts that service medical marijuana patients now are hoping to cash in on this budding business.
750,000 Oregonians said yes to legal marijuana last night. So what happens next?
We have live team coverage looking at some of the issues this decision raises, like how this changes the conversation about drugs with our kids.
We start with Mark Hanrahan and a look at the business model. He joins us live in Northeast Portland. Mark?
Well, Joe, ballot measure 911 technically does not impact medical marijuana in Oregon. The ballot measure didn't touch it. But the owner of this dispensary here behind me and of another dispensary across town I spoke with, well, they're hoping the state will allow them to sell recreational pot in their stores, too.
This right here is the Blackberry Kush. This is a indica hybrid.
At the health awareness group in Northwest Portland, Harvey Cummings shows off one of his more popular strains of medical marijuana. His dispensary just off Northwest 23rd is one of 70 approved to operate in Portland. Following last night's vote to approve Measure 91, Cummings is hoping to get in on the new recreational market.
Well, yes, I think that that is our hope. We still want to service the medical people. I mean, I think that's an important factor, but I think that having this infrastructure in place will make a smoother transition for this industry.
Across town at Shango Premium Cannabis, co-founder Sean McKee is hoping for the same, and the reason is simple.
Right now, everything's nonprofit reimbursement, donations, growing for the patient. We really look forward to being a mainstream business that just has a product that anybody's able to buy.
Ideally, McKee and Cummings would like to be able to sell recreational and medical pot in their respective stores. They add their dispensaries are already regulated by the state, their product is tested, and they have security measures in place. But the decision is not up to them.
It's a huge job and a huge responsibility.
Rob Patridge is the chair of the Oregon Liquor Control Commission. The agency now has until January 2016 to implement the new industry and decide who gets retail licenses.
Whether we can have kind of a medical marijuana store and a recreational store is still out.
This has always been a good one.
Rules that Harvey Cummings says he and other dispensary owners are anxiously waiting for.
You know, I think that all the dispensary owners, or a good majority, is very focused on this market.
The OLCC says they're not wasting any time. In fact, they met on this very issue today. Next, they say they'll travel the state to talk to all the interested parties before they make any decisions. Now back to you.
Mark, thank you. There are a lot of questions about how legal marijuana will work in Oregon. Here are some of the key points you need to know. The law does not take effect until July 1st of 2015. So that means possessing marijuana is still illegal until that date. After July 1st, individuals can have up to 8 ounces of pot in their homes. Don't expect stores to open next year, however. As Mark mentioned, the Oregon Liquor Control Commission has until the beginning of 2016 to come up with regulations, and we will likely see stores open sometime after that.
Let's start with marijuana. Sure. So KGW the Oregonian, we did a poll right before the election, and our poll was indicating that marijuana was going to pass, but we didn't know that it was going to pass by this margin.
Yeah, it was a remarkable election for that reason, the size of the electorate that came out. In many ways, this is what's called a kind of a campaign of mobilization. There was a vote there for the marijuana, a yes vote. It just was a question of the campaign, were they going to be able to dig in to this voting group and pull out their vote. They did an outstanding job.
Yeah, they did it. It worked, and now marijuana is going to be legal in July.
Exactly.
So it's happening.